Cristiano Ronaldo looks to shock the footballing world and possibly disappoint many United fans by joining Manchester City before the summer window closes. Ronaldo has changed his game from his Madrid days, but nonetheless, still a fantastic player and would certainly improve Manchester City's team. Many would mention his pressing abilities and how that could have a negative effect, but I like to think that Pep is tactically astute and has ideas on how to work around pressing effectively with Ronaldo in his side. Today's tactical analysis will look at where Ronaldo and the £100 million signing Jack Grealish may play in Pep City's system based on their most recent Premier League game in which they won 5-0. And before we get stuck into the video, make sure you are subscribed, make sure you like the video, you can share it as well, that helps the channel. But for now, let's get stuck in. Manchester City lined up in a 4-3-3 formation, but Pep's side spends so much time with the ball and we see City transform into multiple different shapes. Against Norwich, when building up from the goalkeeper, we saw a 2+3 shape which helped City build up smoothly, but as play advanced, or if City took possession higher up the pitch, then we could see more of a 3-1-3-3 or a 2-3-5 shape. In the game, Gabriel Jesus started out on the right, which I found interesting as Ferran Torres started as the number 9, though Gabriel Jesus is the recognisable striker. As a few predicted, the new signing Jack Grealish started out wide left and hugged the flank, but with Ronaldo, Cristiano could slot in as the striker in this particular system. Though Ronaldo is capable of getting in behind defences, especially on counter-attacks, generally Ronaldo looks to receive the ball into his feet. In somewhat of a deep-lying style, Ronaldo drops deep to receive, and for City, he can attempt to look for overlaps or underlaps before making his darting runs to get inside the box. As stated by Tom Pearce, Ronaldo has become more creative than his later years at Real Madrid, where he almost solely focused on taking shots. This is partly down to him spending more time with the ball at his feet. As he is coming deeper to receive the ball, by default, he has more space in front of him to release a through ball or a direct pass to a teammate. Often, he decides to shoot too, instead of exploring other attacking avenues, but he's still passing more in the final third than he's done in the past. One element of Ronaldo's game which has not changed much at all is his defensive contribution. City will have to set up where his attacking partners will have to do majority of City's early pressure. But Ronaldo, of course, comes with many benefits, like his aerial ability. This can help City be more effective with their use of crosses. Against Norwich, there were lots of central activity, but then lots of activity high and wide as well. We can see how many times they tried to cross the ball into the box and how infrequently they managed to succeed. But with Ronaldo, some of these crosses may have resulted differently. Jack Grealish had no issue staying out wide. In fact, the other City players around him actively played to his strengths throughout the match, getting him on the ball in that wide position whenever they could. It wasn't the dribbling, foul-winning machine that the Premier League has come to know, but it was a much more creative and sensible Jack Grealish instead. As opposed to driving inside onto his right foot and make magic happen centrally, the 25-year-old would wait for the ball to come to him and then play the ball into space for runners like Gundogan and Torres. In other moments, the likes of Diaz and Walker would hit diagonal long passes into his feet, where he would then be receiving the ball closer to the box to deliver himself. City played a fair share of diagonal passes. Walker, Rodri and Diaz launched these balls into Grealish's feet time and time again. The England international always received and always gracefully took Aaron's on 1v1 to great success. Had the Norwich man gone touch tighter, City would not have been able to play these longer passes at such ease. After seeing the starting lineups, you would have expected Ferran Torres to play on the right and Gabriel Jesus to play through the middle. But the exact opposite turned out to be true, as the Brazilian fulfilled a dynamic playmaking role on the right channel, with Torres as the false 9. This turned out to be a Pep masterstroke. Torres' movement inside the penalty area was awesome throughout and continuously created space for the likes of Gundogan and Grealish to find as others followed the Spaniard. This is exactly how Jack Grealish scored his first Manchester City goal. While they relied switches to the left through long diagonal passes, City were more meticulous when attacking down the right with Jesus. As though it was something they practiced hundreds of times on the training ground, they synchronised a perfect set of passes that always cut open Norwich's back line. They used Walker or Bernardo to play an incisive through ball, and the speedy Brazilian would then whip one into the box for one of the other attackers to finish. This is how both Sterling and Grealish scored their goals, with the Brazilians' timing of run and weight of pass. Now with Jack Grealish out on the left, this is where someone like Ronaldo will flourish as a striker in the side this season. Now we can go into Football Manager and look at the tactic that I've created with Manchester City based off the last game and how Ronaldo could fit in. So now let's go into Football Manager. So here we are in Football Manager, and as you can see, we have lined up with a 4-3-3. Now this tactic I didn't actually play the whole season. I simulated. I went on holiday to check the results. Last night I played the game so many times trying to tweak and work out a tactic, and this is what I ended up with. And with the completed tactic, I went on holiday to simulate the results. But as you can see, it's a 4-3-3. I'm going to go through the team instructions and the player roles and instructions as well. For the team mentality, we are using positive, trying to knock the ball about, making sure the wing backs don't just bomb up and down the field, but they will do it when there is little risk. For the attacking width, we have set it to fairly wide. Manchester City were busy in the middle of the park during the build-up phase, but then they used the wide areas very well. So when it comes to the attacking width, I left it in the middle to try and mix it up. We can play through the middle, but we can also hit the flanks when attacking. With the approach play, we are going to be playing out from the defence, which is of course a given, but with anything else, I have left it blank. I didn't want to focus down the flanks in case it neglected the middle, and I didn't want to underlap, which I noticed Manchester City did do, but of course overlap was always on as well. For the passing directness, we have left it in the middle and the tempo in the middle as well. We've kind of used the player roles and instructions to try and keep the ball and be more possession based rather than setting a team instruction to shorter passing. Again, this allows someone like the ball playing defender to then play that long diagonal pass rather than trying to keep possession. If that long diagonal pass is on, Manchester City's team aren't afraid to attempt it. In the final third, we are going to be sending in whip cross. In the analysis, I mentioned about Gabriel Jesus sending in those whipped crosses for the attackers, and we are going to be more expressive in the final third as well. In the transition, when the possession has been lost, of course, we are going to counter press to try and win the ball back as soon after losing it. This also helps our side get on the ball, but when the possession has been won, again, I left this blank. I didn't want to hold shape. We may struggle to get that 2-3-5 shape or that 3-1-3-3 shape that we desperately want, so we don't want to hold our shape, but of course at the same time we don't want to counter as well, because we aren't trying to make Manchester City a counter-attacking side. When the goalkeeper is in possession, he will distribute the ball quickly. And also bear in mind, throughout the season I will be doing a more detailed analysis of Pep Guardiola's tactic rather than a new player tactical analysis like this video. Out of possession, we are using a much higher line of engagement to try and press the opponent straight away high up the pitch, and with the defence line we have set that to higher. With the pressing intensity, we are using extremely urgent, preventing the short goalkeeper distribution and also getting stuck in to try and win the ball back as soon as possible. That's the team instructions. For the player roles and instructions, in goal we do have a sweeper keeper under defend duty. He's going to be taking fewer risks, so like I said, we are going to be using player instructions to try and maintain the possession rather than using the team instruction. In central defence, we have a central defender who's going to be passing it shorter and marking tighter. His partner will be a ball playing defender who is also going to be passing it shorter, which is just a tendency thing. It's not instructing him to be more disciplined and only pass it shorter, but he's also going to be marking tighter. The reason why we have a ball playing defender on this side is so he can launch those diagonal balls out to the winger who's going to be staying out wide. Both fullbacks are inverted wing backs, but the one on the left has get further forward, which was the Mendy or Zinchenko role. He's going to get further forward, being more adventurous than Kyle Walker, but he's also going to pass it shorter and shoot less often. Kyle Walker on the right, he's going to be passing it shorter and taking less shots as well. In defensive midfield, we have a defensive midfielder, the Fernandinho or Rodri role. He's going to be passing it shorter, shooting less often and marking tighter. One thing I noticed that I should have hold position, which I probably forgot to add. You can add that, but the defensive midfielder is not supposed to be roaming or swapping positions with any other player. In central midfield, we have a Mazzala under attacking duty, trying to get that 5 in attack, so he's going to be getting further forward and shooting less often as well, which is his instruction, and marking tighter. His midfield partner is a central midfielder on attack. The reason why we're not using the Mazzala is to try and avoid these two players being so close to each other now. He's not exactly going to run into the inverted winger, but I do want more space between the players. I noticed a lot more interchanging and positional rotations with the right winger. But the central midfielder, he's going to be taking more risks, shooting less often, roaming from his position, moving into the channels and marking tighter. In attack, out on the right, we have an inverted winger, which was kind of hard to replicate that Gabriel Jesus role without using a winger role, because he also played narrow as well, as you can see with the average positions. But he does have cross more often, so hopefully he does utilise those wider areas well. And on the left, we are using a winger on the support, someone that's going to be wide and stay wide, just like Jack Grealish did against Norwich. But he's instructed to take more risk and hold his position. But lastly, up top, we have a complete forward under attacking duty. Now, this is where Ronaldo is supposed to be playing. We did want a complete player, someone that can drop deep, someone that can break lines, someone that can link up, and someone that can also score goals as well. For me, that is exactly what the complete forward can provide. So that there is the team instructions, the player roles and instructions. We are now going to check the results. How well did Manchester City do while simulating this tactic? So if we look at the competitions, Manchester City won the Premier League fairly comfortably. I say that though there was only a 4 points gap, but we played 38, we won 32, we drew 2 and we lost 4. Those 4 losses came away, well 3 of them came away, 1 at home. We lost 3-0 away to Tottenham, we lost 1-0 away to Liverpool, we got smashed at home by Arsenal 4-1, and we also lost away to Chelsea 2-1. Something that doesn't really please me is that all of these teams are the bigger teams in the league. It looks like we are struggling a little against the bigger sides, but at the same time we did win the league. In the UEFA Champions League, we got knocked out in the quarter-final by Paris Saint-Germain. This tie ended 1-1. It was a 0-0 in the first leg, I believe, and then it was 1-1 in the second leg. PSG went through on away goal, so not too much difference between us and PSG. In the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the semi-final by Liverpool, and in the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out in the semi-final by Bournemouth. So though we have Ronaldo, we only managed to win 1 cup with Manchester City, which is fairly disappointing. But in the Premier League, if we check the team stats, Manchester City scored the second most goals, we had the second most shots for, we had the second fewest shots against. It looks like Liverpool were the better performing side, but Manchester City won the league. For the best pass completion, Manchester City topped that list with 90% and the average possession as well. Manchester City have the most with 56%. For the most tackles won, Manchester City are in 6th place, and for the dribbles made, Manchester City aren't in the top 8. We did have the most clean sheets, we did concede the few, so that is probably where we beat Liverpool, and that there got us the title. As they say, attack wins matches and defenses wins titles. But for the player stats, as you can see, Ronaldo was the second top goal scorer with 24 goals in 35 games. Romelu Lukaku is the top goal scorer. For the most assists, we have Bernardo Silva in 4th place. We have Sterling in 6th place. Most shots, Ronaldo in 2nd place, which is no surprise. For the player of the match award, we don't have anybody in the top 8. For the most key passes, Kevin De Bruyne with 109. I believe he struggled to play most of the season through injury, I believe. We can check later. For the pass completion, Laporte is there with 96%, Ruben Dias there with 96% as well. Most tackles won, nobody there. Most dribbles made, nobody there. For the most clean sheets is Ederson, and for the fewest conceded, again, it is Ederson. But we can have a look at the schedule. Looking at the start of the season, we started well. We smashed Liverpool 4-2 at home. We also beat Arsenal 3-1 away. So though I said we did struggle against the bigger sides, all of our losses and all of our struggles did come against the biggest sides. Our first loss came away to Chelsea, then we also lost in the Champions League before going on a very good winning streak and then losing in the Carabao Cup semi-final to Bournemouth. We did lose 4-1 at home to Arsenal, then we lost 1-0 away to Liverpool, but we went on a very good run again, and then our next 2 points dropped was against Tottenham in the league, 3-0 away, but we also got knocked out in the Champions League to PSG. We ended the season well. This is where we won the league, and we ended the season with a 6-1 victory over Watford. But looking at the squad stats, we can see who were the top goal scorers for Manchester City. Cristiano Ronaldo scored 27 goals in all competitions. Maybe disappointing by his standards, possibly. Jack Grealish scored 15 goals though. He would be happy with that. Gabriel Jesus scored 14. Kevin De Bruyne got 13 and Ilkay Gundogan got 10. For the most assists, we have Bernardo Silva with 15, Raheem Sterling with 13, Kevin De Bruyne with 11, again by his standards, possibly disappointing. Ronaldo did manage to get 9 assists as well, which is fairly positive, I guess. But unfortunately, that wraps up this tactic. How will Ronaldo fit in at Manchester City, and how has Grealish played so far under Pep Guardiola? Bear in mind, this wasn't necessarily a Pep Guardiola tactical analysis. That video will come later during the season. But my name is RDF. It's been a pleasure. If you have enjoyed this video, if you do enjoy my content, make sure you are subscribed. You can like this video and also share it. The more people that get to see this, the more this channel can grow. But I will speak to you guys soon. Stay safe. Peace out. Don't cause too much trouble out there. I'll see you soon.